How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? The evaluation of question 4 consists of 4 main parts, which I am going to analyse and evaluate in the articles shown. We use technology in the construction of our products. Here, our journey from the beginning of the course will be highlighted, as well as how we use technology to tackle editing and filming problems, through to the end of our filming stages where we use technology specifically for the creation of our main product, as well as how the evaluation was constructed through the use of technology. The first main section which I will be discussing includes the stages of the planning and the research of development and pre-production, followed by movie teaser trailers, production and filming. First of all, we used Google in order to find out more specifically about the software and technologies we would be using in the creation of our main product. We also researched through specific magazines which are popular in the media industry in order to find out more about the creation of more professional products. From our AS work, we already knew about how to use the basics of the software in which we'd done our main portion of editing, Premiere. This made editing a lot more easier and understandable. Furthermore, for our production stage, we were already aware of the basic uses of cameras and other equipment from the previous year. However, we also did further research to help establish our knowledge and understanding of the uses of these particular technologies in order to create a more professional looking product. Also, we used some YouTube tutorials in order to learn the uses of makeup, cameras, softwares, etc. This expanded our previous knowledge and allowed us to learn the harder techniques which would make our product more professional. Also, we used websites such as Amazon and other shopping websites in order to buy the right costumes and props, which made our film fit the conventions of a thriller film, as well as making it look more like a teaser trailer rather than a basic trailer. To begin with, throughout the whole process of creating and editing our media coursework, we constantly used iMacs or computers in order to research and plan our product. An example would be, we used Illustrator and Photoshop constantly when planning the storyboard, costumes and creating the sketches of our potential shots. However, during the process, we used computers for our main research on the genres, trailers and posters and magazines, since it was a lot more accessible all around the school. The whole editing process, as well as the creating or mixing of the sound, was done using the Macs, where it was a lot easier to edit. Additionally, the Macs are a lot more professional in the tech scene, as well as being easier to use and access while working on creating and editing. Since we had to work with more professional softwares such as Premiere or After Effects, it was a lot easier to use Macs. Also, for the drafting and planning as well as the research, we found that it would be more easier to use Weebly in order to blog our daily routine and to present our work more professionally. Since the website is free, we were able to create professional looking websites full of planning and other content, which enabled us to use all kinds of options, effects, layouts without having to pay for it. We found that this website played an essential part in the creation of our products, as through this we were able to successfully plot and plan the step-by-step way of creating and editing our product. Here's how we used Weebly. In AS, it was a lot more simpler. Our research wasn't that thorough. And now in A2, our research looks more detailed and more professional. The layout is much better. A big part of our research included the use of YouTube, as we were able to view many of the trailers and teaser trailers from which we were able to receive ideas and inspiration from. YouTube allowed us to focus on the shots and techniques which were used by professionals in actual teaser trailers. At the beginning of our whole development process, each of us created our own Weebly websites. It was crucial to blog each and every step of the way into making our main products. Here we were able to record our progress and results of each of our planning and filming sessions. We used Weebly simply because it was previously used for our AS, where we were able to blog our work and create clearer plans. We therefore used this free website builder. This also allowed our teacher to easily track our progress and performance. For our audience research, we used the large variety of different social network websites. Here we compared our posters, magazine covers, and asked the audiences to choose which one would be better for our coursework. We had a lot of ways to gather information and opinions of the audience through the available resources. Therefore, we carried out interviews, online questionnaires on our websites, emails, and SurveyMonkey, as well as making our potential audiences specific questions on social network sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Who was it? Yes. 3, 2, 1. Furthermore, we analysed our results in order to find out any common patterns of audience preferences for our chosen genre, which is thriller. During the whole research process, we permanently used Chrome instead of Safari, since downloading, sharing, and uploading was much more easily done using Google Chrome. Also, we used Google specifically for research in order to remain up to date with the new releases, trailers, posters, and magazines for our inspiration and research. The search engine made it easier for us to come across a chain of well-established previous ideas, which then inspired us with our creativity. After watching real media trailers such as The Black Swan or Shutter Island on YouTube, we were able to analyze the common traits of the teaser trailers, which we then used to incorporate into our own piece. The research done on YouTube helped develop and strengthen our planning as a whole and worked to create our final pieces. Self-made tutorials. We decided to create our own tutorial of how we created our own fake blood, which was used in the teaser trailer. This was done previous to the actual filming sessions, as it was a part of our planning in order to allow us to be confident in its making and use by the time we began filming. This technique allowed us to successfully make fake blood, which was used to add the gore to our work for elements of other genres, such as horror. The use of Illustrator allowed us to cleverly craft and plan our own concept art and storyboard, which we used as guide for the camera angles, shots, lighting, and costume. We also used Photoshop in the process of creating these sketches, and each stage was as important as the other. Through the use of both the softwares, we formed over 3 drafts of our storyboard, costume designs, and concept art. They were all used as a template for the scenes, the character profiles, and the official planning before the filming sessions. A common trait amongst the trailers were the fast cuts, which somehow attacked the viewers, captivating them, and then going back to the normal speed to allow them some time for thinking about the film itself. We decided to have a part of our teaser trailer where the clips come in really fast with a lot of jump cuts and fillings and a thrilling soundtrack. This was because from our research we found that in order to reveal the genre entirely, we needed to use such elements to signify the key aspects of the genre and the film. Filming. During the filming process, we used lights to help us create the right settings. For example, for the investigation scene, we decided that the room should be overly bright in order to create the effect of annoyance conveyed in many investigations. The lighting also allowed us to then successfully edit it by placing a blue filter over it to give it the thriller look. This was because of the bright lighting, as it could be adjusted later on when editing. However, if the lighting is low-key, it would be much harder to brighten it up or remove pixels. Therefore, we decided to use bright lighting. The use of Canon cameras allowed us to carefully plan out our shots by practicing the angles. For example, the tracking shot was practiced at least 3 times before the actual filming session. This gave us a clearer understanding of what we may have wanted to film. Also, the settings on the cameras meant that the lighting, saturation, and other elements could carefully be changed to fit our scenes. This made filming a lot easier compared to AS, where we were just filming without acknowledging the settings. The microphone and recording studio allowed us to create a voiceover which fit our genre and teaser trailer. We used the clear sound produced and then added a slight echo which would help sync the footage of the empty investigation room with the voiceover. The voiceover came out loud and clear, similar to many of the thriller trailer voiceovers. Photography session and editing. We decided to use the green room when taking photographs for the magazine and the poster. This was because of the advantages we would face later on when editing. For example, adding layers would have been much harder if we hadn't used the green screen as the background for our original photographs. The costumes which were used included an orange jumpsuit visible in the teaser trailer for the magazine and the white jumpsuit which hasn't been featured before. This would create a thrill among the audience as they would try to make links to the film and this would encourage them to watch it to find out more. Magazine. For the magazine, Salmi used Photoshop as her main software to develop the professional looking piece. She included many layers which worked together to create the polished piece. Poster. Shrina used Photoshop to create and edit the poster. She used layers and similar titles to the teaser trailer to link the two pieces together. Also, the colour scheme allowed her to develop a clear link to the thriller genre. She used the watercolour effect on the image to make it unique, and here is how she did it. This was done on Illustrator and Photoshop. Post-production. Editing the many hours of footage we had filmed was hard. However, by the end of the process we were content with the outcome and how we had carefully planned our work. For the beginning of our teaser trailer, I decided to animate the start of the establishing shot. This was easily done by simply screenshotting the start of the clip, followed by tracing it on Illustrator and then animating it on Photoshop. This allowed us to create an animated still shot of the first frame, which could be linked to some teaser trailers like 500 Days of Summer to add greater impact to it. In order to further specify the genre of our teaser trailer, I had to use the editing techniques, which were available on Premiere to create a series of jump cuts used to display the crimes of the character. Premiere allowed me to manage the speed, duration, and the effect on the clips, making it fit the genre even more. I edited the soundtrack every time I cut apart from the teaser trailer. This made it harder to match the two elements, as the pace of the music would often differ to the clips. However, using Premiere for nearly 2 years allowed me to easily manipulate the soundtrack to shape it to match the final teaser trailer. Also, editing the CCTV footage was hard work, as I had to duplicate the same clip, then divide it equally to show the same image but different timings. From this project we have developed our skills in editing softwares to create a professional looking product. In terms of planning, we have developed a lot compared to our AS work, which had minimal planning and research. As for the editing, I can say that I'm now confident. For the evaluation questions, we use technology to help us film, as well as adding creativity to it by editing it to perfect it, to make it look more convincing. We use the footage from our teaser trailers to overlap the recorded voiceover. As well as this, we still use lighting and the green screen as ways to add to the creativity.